The last thing we have to cover is checklist. And I have a series of handouts for you. One is tools needed for setting up and tearing down. When we're talking about a stapler, we're talking about something like this, not a paper stapler. And what happens, the flats, as you move them, the cardboard tends to come loose. The staples will pop out. Not all of them, but some of them. And if 6 of them pop out in a row for whatever reason, then you got a loose corner or whatever. Now, what you want to use is 1/2-inch staples. 1/4 inch will not work. They will pop out right away, and 3/4 inch is an overkill, and they won't go in all the way most of the time. So 1/2 inch is sufficient. What is important with regard to staples is you must have the staples that work with your gun. Staples are not interchangeable. 5-foot or 6-foot step ladders. I showed you earlier about why you need a tall step ladder. Wire cutters. We're talking about the kind that have a jaw. Now there's all kinds of other wire cutters, but these kind work easiest because you can reach up and cut it. Now we're not using wire anymore, but we are using plastic ties, wire ties. So these cut them very easy. You could probably even cut the string with them. A box cutter. These kind of knives, so you can cut the cardboard if you have to. Scissors for cutting and sealing crepe paper. There will be a pair of scissors in your box, but that's one pair. If you got 2 crews working, 2 sets of scissors, this kind of stuff makes it go faster. Channel locks, a small pair of channel locks. You guys know what channel locks are, right? We've been working downstairs and I cannot find my channel locks, so I couldn't show them. That's the time when we have ladies here, they don't know what I'm talking about. Put your name on all tools, put your room number on your ladders, bring some garbage bags for at night to clean up your trash and throw them away, and then bring 5 or 6 for tear down, for taking the crepe paper from the ceiling and putting it in bags and throwing it in the dumpster. Incidentally, when it comes to garbage bags, do not put anything you want to keep in garbage bags. It will end up being thrown away. We don't have much trouble anymore because I've been harping about this. But it used to be every Sunday somebody showed up here and said, I left in the room da-da-da-da-da. Do you have it? And the answer was always no, because it's in the garbage bag. They go unopened out into the dumpsters. Okay, here's a checklist for setting up. This was a checklist. The room that we set up was 3 of these rooms. It was the room that the Irish pub is in now, so it was 3 times as big as this. And this tells you about how to do it. Any way you can do it is fine. This just gives you some thought process to help you get organized. And in this thing, some places I will have the number of people in a crew. You don't have to do it that way. I'm just saying, this works pretty well if you do it this way. Now you add them all up, you need whatever it is, 4,332 people. Obviously you don't have that many, but tasks get done in the, A, B, C, D, E, F. The thing about it, you can put a room up with 2 people. It just takes you longer. If you got 8, you can do it faster. And you need to give us some pre-thought. That's why we pass out these checklists, because if you just show up, now you have the people there, and you don't know what it is you want them to do. So they start standing around, and that's not fun. The other thing is that you're the leader. Be involved in everything and don't do anything, if that makes any sense. If you get really involved with one task, then you're going to find that there'll be people who don't know what they're supposed to do next, and they don't know where you're at because you've gone down to electrical to get something. It's okay to use kids, but I've seen so many times that people bring their kids and they don't let them do anything meaningful. They become the gophers. Run down and get me some masking tape. Go see if you can find Mr. Jacob and ask him. That's not fun. Give the kids something meaningful to do, and if the kids get bored, then they're going to be antsy to leave, and when they leave, the parents are going with them, so you lose the whole family. So make the kids feel involved. Most of the electrical and sound stuff, we set up with students from this school. Setting up a room, one day a guy came in and said, here's John, you know, he's a sophomore, can you use him? The only thing I had left to do in the room was to aim the light bars to hit the stage. And I thought, this probably isn't gonna work very well, but they want something for the kid to do. So I said, okay, you know, the aid is here. See, I'll stand on stage, and this is what you want to do, light this area, and I got to do this, but I'll adjust the lights so they do that. I got to be honest with you and tell you, I never had the light bars set up better. That kid did it. It was no big deal. Told him what I wanted him to do, and he did it. So give the kids something meaningful to do, and plus the fact you're encouraging volunteerism. If the kids don't have fun, you may be turning them off for a lifetime. I've been at this 35 years. Why? I love it. It's the best week of the year as far as I'm concerned. My whole life, you know, centers around this week. I don't do anything but street scene, and all my family know that. And that's because I have so much fun, and I see all my old friends. Okay, here's a checklist for tearing down. The exact same scenario. It can be done any number of ways with a little bit of foresight. You can do it faster. I told you we had a room that was 3 times this size. We could take it down in an hour and a half. Along about 10 o'clock on Saturday night, I was telling people, okay, when we start to tear down, this is what I want you to do. And you can't do it wrong, but you can do it hard. For instance, the first time we're going to take down crepe paper ceiling. I thought, hey, no problem. Now we used fish line in those days, and we had 5 lines. Cut them and drop the ceiling. So I said a person each end, cut the wires, and they cut the wires. You know what happened? All the crepe paper dropped, and it was all still attached to the flats.
So the flats all came in?
No, the flats stayed up there. We were all buried under crepe paper. So the first thing we had to do is dig ourselves out. You know, one of the things is you're going to take the room down. What are you going to do with the chairs? You can work around all these aisles. It's probably better to get the chairs kind of stacked someplace so you can work around them, get them out of your way. You know, if there's a stack of chairs here, you can take the ceiling down and just flip the crepe paper to somebody else. But if there's all loaded chairs here, then it's going to be all mixed up with the chairs, and it just makes it harder. So, okay, you pull all the crepe paper away from the flats, then you cut the strings, and you can just roll the crepe paper up. Make sense? So anyhow, that's what this checklist is stuff like that. And I already told you about the garbage bags. You have my name, rank, and serial number if you want to contact me, and we are done.
Okay, so when do we start? We can start painting any time now?
Yes.
Okay, and is it like anytime after 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or something?
I think it's 3, isn't it? When
3.
school gets out?
Okay, and then the weekends?
Yeah.
It's open the whole day Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Sunday?
It's open on Sunday
And-
too. And Sunday you won't be able to paint in the, let me tell you about Sunday. This Sunday will be what's called senior day.
That's right.
And let's see,
Sunday.
so you can't paint in front of the auditorium.
Right, so Saturday only,
Take them someplace else.
Saturday only.
Yeah, you paint them
Or take-
someplace else.
Okay.
They're marked, right?
Yeah,
They're
they're
down there already, down by the,
Yeah, you gotta see a number right above it. There you go.
And knowing what I just told you, my recommendation when you start looking at them, find those flats that have got the holes cut in them and plan on you're gonna use them there. Oh, a couple things on flats I forgot to mention. But so you go around the room and the flat sticks out to here. You just pull a flat out and slide it behind, put the masking tape down, you won't be the wiser. That scene I showed you of the wheat field, and I can't find it, it's in the bottom of the pile, but one of those flats was lapped over the other one. If you looked at the bottom, the flat stuck out the other. Let's say that you're going around the room and you can't fill out the ceiling, you can't close the room. The flat is too short. You put a flat on an angle, so you got a little bit of angle in the corner. Nobody will even notice it, or they'll think there's a reason for it.
Got it.
So,
When do we have to start hanging the rooms?
Tuesday night at 6 o'clock you can start.
Isn't it at 6?
Yeah, in the rooms, all the flats will be brought up by the students ahead of time. But they are just gonna be in your room in a stack against the wall. The stages they will try and put where they go.
When do they have to be ready by? When's the rooms ready?
They have to be ready by the time we open Friday night.
Friday night.
You're not open on student night, I don't think.
Yeah, so Friday
No.
night, okay.
So be Friday night.
Got it.
But your goal should be to be done by Thursday. Build yourself some slack in it.
Gotcha.
And the real key to all that is get people to help you. And don't be hesitant to ask people nothing. The last showroom we ran, the only people who had anything to do with Carnival was my wife Janet and I. All the rest of the people were groupies, even guys that carpooled it. People like to do this kind of stuff. That's why there's so many little theater groups. So they will get involved. And you can guarantee them a good time. I've been telling people in 35 years work street scenes, I guarantee you a good time. Nobody has ever come back and said that was not fun. It's a ball.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.